Hello, guys. How are you? And welcome back to Math Zone African Motives. We are still looking into grade 10 physical sciences for term one. And we are looking into the topic that is waves, sound, and light. So we want to continue from where we left. So we have looked into pulses. That is to say, we have defined what pulses are and described the key features of pulses. And then we have went on to introduce waves, where we have started looking, we have started by looking into transverse waves. So today we want to go on and look into longitudinal waves. We want to go on and look into longitudinal waves so that after looking into longitudinal waves, we now want to go further and start looking into the examples of longitudinal waves like sound waves. And then we get to know how they behave and how they are useful. So this is a picture that I just took from the internet, and it gives us a summary of what we are looking into. So we say that we want to look into waves, and we have classified our waves into two. We've got mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves. And we have said that mechanical waves, like sound waves and water waves, they require a medium. That is the reason why we would actually get to call them water waves, because they move what in water. And then your sound waves, they require either a solid or air, or else some particles for them to actually get to propagate. But when we now look into electromagnetic waves, we will see that these ones, they do not require any medium. What we refer to as a medium, we say that is just a fancy word of referring to either a rope, or else water particles, or else any solid particles. So that is what we refer to as what? As a medium. So now we have described and actually classified our mechanical waves into longitudinal waves and transverse waves. And we have looked into transverse waves. Now we want to look into what? Into longitudinal waves. So we say that transverse waves, they move perpendicular, or else the particles are actually displaced perpendicular to the direction of the wave motion. But however, today we want to look into longitudinal waves, where we are saying that the particles of the medium, they actually move forward and backward in the same direction as the what? As the direction of the wave. So we are saying that the particles of the medium, they move parallel to the wave motion. Just for example, we have got a spring here. So if you actually get to pull your spring and release it, you would see that the spring would actually get to what? Vibrate back and forth. It will vibrate back and forth. That is the displacement of the spring particles. And we would actually get to know that the waves, or else the wave motion that is created by this spring, it will actually be propagating what? Horizontally, or else towards the right. So you would see that the motion of the particles is in the same direction, or else in the same plane as the what? As the wave motion. So that is what we refer to as longitudinal waves. So this is an example of longitudinal waves. So you would see that when it comes to longitudinal waves, we are going to have compressions, and we are going to have what? Rarefactions. Instead of our wave rising up and down, we are going to be having our particles pushing what? Forward and back. That is creating a traveling pattern of squeezing and stretching, where on the squeezing, this is where we call what? We call compression. And then on the stretching, this is where we call rarefaction. So that is the difference between longitudinal waves and what? And transverse waves. Now, we now want to look into the key features of a longitudinal wave. So you would see that the key features of a longitudinal wave, it actually consists of what? Of compressions, where particles are pegged together. Like for example here, you can see that Here we have got some compressions where our particles of our spring is actually pegged together. And then we would have a rarefaction or else rarefactions where our particles, they are stretched or else they are spread apart. And then we would have a wavelength where we know that on transverse waves, we say that a wavelength of our transverse wave is the distance that you find between what? Between the two crests. But now we are no longer having this crest, these highest points. What we are now having is what we refer to as what? As compressions and rarefactions. So our wavelength for a longitudinal wave will be the distance between two compressions or else two rarefactions. So the distance between the center of the compression and the center of the consecutive compression is what is going to give us our what? Our wavelength. So those are the key features of what? Of what we refer to as longitudinal waves. So you would see that we've said that longitudinal waves, they oscillate in the same direction as the direction of the wave, which means that the motion of longitudinal waves, they will create what? Compressions, where our particles, they will be pegged together, and then they will create rarefactions where our particles are going to be stretched or spread apart. And then the distance in between one compression and another consecutive compression will give us our wavelength. This is the distance moved between one complete wave of a longitudinal waves. And then we are going to see that the time that it will take to move this distance is what we refer to as the period. And then the number of complete wavelengths in 1 second, in 1 second, is what we refer to as what? As our frequency. So there are some other key features that we would actually get to borrow from transverse wave that are the same when it also comes to what? To longitudinal waves. Things like your period, your wavelength. The only difference is that you would calculate your wavelength from one compression to the next, and then your frequency. So we've already alluded that our period and our frequency, they are related with this equation. Frequency is equals to 1 over t. This will remain the same. This will remain the same. And also the wave equation, where we say that our speed of the what? Of the wave is actually going to be given by the what? By the frequency times the what? Times the lambda, which is the wavelength. So we have actually stressed out how you would calculate your speed, how you'd calculate your frequency, or else your period, given the graph when we were talking about what? When we were talking about transverse waves. So if you did not manage to join us, or else you haven't watched the video yet, you should go back and watch that video on transverse wave. It will help you to get the introduction to waves, as well as the idea on frequency, as well as period, as well as the speed of waves. Now, we want to look into the examples of longitudinal waves. We said for transverse waves, we have what we refer to as water waves. And then we've got those waves that can actually be created when you actually get to what? To slick a what? A rope, or else to flip a rock. So what we refer to as water waves, imagine a duck that is actually moving with the flow of water. I'm sure you have seen that it moves up, it goes down, it moves up, it goes down. So this is what we refer to as what? As water waves. And then also, if you flick a rope, you are going to see that your rope would actually get to go up, and then it comes down, it later goes up, and then it comes down. So that is what we refer to as transverse waves. And those are the examples of transverse waves. But what we refer to as longitudinal waves, this is when, for example, if you get to what? To pull out a spring. Let's say you have got a slinky spring, you actually get to what? You actually get to release it. you would see that you would have what we refer to as rare refractions, where you have got your particles of the spring spreading out, and you have got some compressions like these ones, where you still have got your particles of the spring being compressed. And then we have got sound waves. This is an example of sound waves. This is how sound waves, they propagate in air. There is where your waves are compressed. This is where we call them what? Compressions. And then you have got where your sound is actually spread out. This is what we refer to as rarefactions. So from the key characteristics of what? Of longitudinal waves, we have got compressions and rarefactions. And the examples of our longitudinal waves include what? A slinky spring as well as sound waves. So like I've said and like I've alluded to say that we will also have what we refer to as the wavelength. This is the distance that can either be between a rarefaction and another what? Rarefaction, or else a compression and another compression. So a wavelength is a distance between two consecutive compressions or two consecutive rarefaction. And we are still going to have what we refer to as what? As amplitude, which is just the total displacement of our what? Of our wave, or else of our medium particles. And then thereafter, we have said that we are going to have what we refer to as the time period, which is the period or else the time taken to cover one wavelength. And then our frequency, which would be given by 1 over the time period. And then now the speed, we will always have our speed being given by the what? By the distance, the total distance traveled, divided by the total time taken. So we are saying that the distance that we are looking into is the what? It's one wavelength. So one wavelength actually makes one wave. That is the total distance covered when you move, or else that is traveled by one wave. And then one wavelength is traveled in a unit time of one period. So here we are going to divide by the what? By the period. When we do that, we can see that our speed can be given by the wavelength divided by the time period. Or else, if I'm to factor out my wavelength like this, I'll remain with 1 over t. And we know that 1 over t can be defined as frequency. So also our speed can be calculated by what? By wavelength times frequency, or else wavelength divided by the time period. So that is what we actually get to refer to as what? As longitudinal waves. So now we want to get to go deeper into what we refer to as sound waves. So thank you guys for being together. Let's meet in our next video where we will be talking about what? Where we are actually going to dive deep into sound waves. We want to see the characteristics of sound waves and how we use different characteristics or properties of sound waves in our daily lives.